Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Instabatch. My name is Daniel. I am an Instabatcher, working different platforms, trying to make money through my phone. And the one app that I constantly use, it's my bread and butter, is Instacart. I just got a $45 batch. Woohoo! So, I'm gonna give you the pros and cons of working this platform. We can make real good money, but there's consequences too. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to see if Instacart is right for you. So today, we're breaking down the real pros and cons of working Instacart in 2026. What you should expect from day one, and what it really takes to do this as a full-timer. The first pro I could think of is that it's an easy entry to sign up for Instacart. There's no experience required, no resume, no interview, no scheduled commitments. So if you have like a smartphone, a car, and a clean background, you should be easy peasy to join. I have seen some places that have a waiting list, so that might be the only con, but it's easier compared to other apps that you apply to. Perfect for beginners testing the gig life. Another pro is that you control when you work. Log in when you want, log out when you're tired. No boss calling you. This is ideal for you if you need flexibility, have family responsibilities, or want side income or a transit job. Another benefit is that you get the same day pay option. That's pretty good. Instant cash outs are available. Great for emergencies, or if you just want to do a quick go and cash out. It's beneficial. This is one of the reasons why people stick around with like Instacart, because you know it's quick money, cash out if you need it that same day. I like the skills that you develop with this because you're gonna learn how to shop. The store layouts, I didn't know where things were until I started practicing with this app. It's just like working at a Walmart. You know, they're gonna teach you customer service, shopping efficiency, how to communicate with customers. Time management's a big one here. These skills transfer to other gig apps as well. Personal shopping, the reselling, you get to know what the clearance items are. You start getting familiar with the merchandise, and you could even run your own delivery service. And this job could be really beneficial if you're in the right market. Like in LA or Orange County, I've noticed it's a lot busier. So there's like peak hours, more batches, high paying stores, and some areas even tip better. Especially if you do this consistently, you'll be getting like a lot of repeat customers. You can make a solid money here without working all day. Before you jump in, you need to see the other side. Instacart isn't just the flexible hours and quick money. There's wear on your car, pressure on your body, and days that test your patience. These are the real cons of the job, and if you're serious about this work, you need to understand them very clearly. Okay, and so now the cons of working Instacart. This is a reality check because it's real work, so work sucks. Just kidding. The pay is not guaranteed. That's the first one. Because I know there's a lot of Instacart shoppers that vary in markets. Some markets are really busy, so they do pretty good money. Sometimes you're just waiting like 4 or 5 hours and nothing comes up. It's rare, but it happens. So one of the cons is the pay is not guaranteed. No hourly wage, no salary. Slow days will happen. Some days are great and some are awful, so be prepared for that. This is not a traditional type of a job. Then there's the wear and tear on your car. Like right now, I just went through a flooded road and got mud all over my car. Instacart doesn't care where they send you. You're an independent contractor, so you picked up a batch, and your commitment is to go ahead and fulfill that order. Complete it. Rain or shine, you gotta just finish that batch. So I would say the second con is that there's going to be a lot of wear and tear on your body and your car. So like walking miles in stores, it's a good thing. It could be a good thing. It's a good workout, but there's going to be days you're super tired, and walking these ginormous superstores is no joke. Lifting heavy items like at Costco, no, any of the grocery stores, most people order those 40 pack of waters, you know, and not just one or two, sometimes like 3 to 10. So it's heavy lifting, so you gotta just be mindful of that and lift properly. Then there's gas, the brakes, the tires, and oil change. You're gonna put your car to work for sure. But the plus side is that it's a business, so you gotta make time to take your car to the shop. Get your oil change, your brakes, you know, make sure that your car is in tip-top shape in order for you to make that money. If you're not working that many hours, if you're not taking it that seriously, I could see why the car expense is a little too much for people. But you gotta track them, because if not, you're gonna feel like you're doing all this work for nothing. Con number 3 is the ratings. You know, the ratings do matter here a lot, because you have competing people. You know, you're competing against other Instacart shoppers, and one bad customer review can hurt your access to really good batches. So be mindful of that. And sometimes it's not even your fault, you know. But for me, I've had items like missing. Sometimes they fall out
at the next stop sign,
trunk.
Turn left.
So you gotta pay a lot of attention. If not, you're gonna get dinged on it on your ratings, and you don't want that. Also, you need thick skin, because sometimes that feedback
At the stop
is not
sign,
good.
turn left onto 170th Street
I learned
East.
the hard way. Another thing is you're at the mercy of Instacart, so anytime they decide to make changes, it will affect you, and you will have to adapt. For example, they did the whole shopper ratings, and they are basically judging you of how fast you shop, how many items were refunded without authorization. People complain about like damaged items or rotten items. You can do your best, but sometimes you don't know if there's like one grape that's moldy. When you looked at it, it looked fine, but then when the customer complains about it, it's gonna affect you, and we just gotta adjust to whatever Instacart changes. That's like every other job, though, you know what I mean? So it's something to just pay attention to and try to like work the Instacart way. So we just gotta adapt and be professionals. Now, something that took me a while to really understand how it worked was Instacart. Once you work a lot of hours, they'll give you some money to buy health insurance. But that's what was different for me, because I just would, wherever I worked, I would just sign up for insurance. No traditional benefits in this job. So they don't provide you with health insurance, no paid time off, no retirement plan. You're responsible for all of that. And you're responsible for your taxes and savings and insurance. So it's going to be different from like your 9 to 5. They usually take care of that. So you're really managing your business, you know? So if you are a brand new shopper for Instacart, what should you expect? You know, your first weeks will be pretty slow. I had a friend that on day one waited like 4 or 5 hours. They tapped out. They probably made like $10 that day. And me too. The first week, I think, I always say I cried, because for a whole week I really tried to just be online, and I only made like $60. You know, so be ready for that. Also, be ready to make mistakes. Try not to. That's the whole game, to be efficient. But do all your courses on the app. Do your best when you're actually shopping, and take your time. I would take your time, because after 30 batches, I think, they disappear on your record. So you have time to get better. As long as you're efficient.
In 1 mile, turn left onto East Avenue North.
Sorry. Try not to mess up with people's orders as far as like missing items. You know what I mean? That's really gonna ding you. Or delivering to the wrong houses, which has happened to me. I know you're gonna second guess your order, and that's good. Just be thorough and double check. That's normal. At first, you're definitely gonna see really bad batches. Like, Instacart wants you to work really hard for not that much money. Maybe you'll get like a 100 unit. You gotta shop for 100 units for like $17. Like, what? That's too much, you know what I mean? Or sometimes you'll get those $6 batches, and it's like, what? Do you really want to drive all the way to Walmart to get $6? Maybe they'll send you far out of your zone, you could call it, your city. I know I got a lot of big orders with no tips. Now I try to focus on that too. It's like, who's tipping, who's not, who appreciates this. But with time, you're gonna learn all these tricks. I could see why people tap out right away because it doesn't seem like it's worth it. But if you just treat it like work and you try to like balance your day the right way, it's pretty beneficial. You get to the point where learning what to skip is just as important as what to accept. The learning curve is real. Instacart rewards your speed, the accuracy, the consistency. It's not luck. Like, they will reward you. So just try to get better every day. Would you consider doing this full time? I know I did. I put all my eggs in this basket and I said, what is it gonna take to be a full-time person, which to me that I consider 30 to 40 hours. Okay? You gotta treat it like a real job. And what you need, to be honest, is a business mindset. So every day you're not just getting up and shopping. No, you're tracking your miles, you're tracking your expenses. Understand the taxes. This is a self-employment, you know? It's not a side hustle. Well, forever. But if you're really committed to it, you gotta start thinking that way. Discipline. You're gonna need lots of discipline. Remember that word, discipline. You're gonna show up even on slow days. Yeah, you'll get frustrated, but you're gonna figure out how to balance your day. Maybe you'll do other apps as well, that counts. But if you just want to do Instacart, you're gonna start remembering, hey, these times are slow times. Maybe I take a break during this time. Why is it slow? You know? Am I in the wrong area? Do I drive to the next area? Maybe not. You know, but you're in a work mindset. You're trying to figure this out. So you gotta like show up. And you'll figure out when your peak hours are, and that's when you really want to be focused and ready to grab those big batches. Avoid burnouts. So just waiting in your car, you could get burnt out. So there are days I used to just go to the gym and just wait there. Go to the restroom, work out a little bit, then the batch comes up, boom. I go straight to complete that batch. There's different ways. And that's what I did. Because I know that like a Walmart was always next to a Planet Fitness. And throughout California, there's a lot of Planet Fitness. So I would always just travel there. Costco as well. I would go to Costco's and kind of just wait there, eat there. You know, start doing Instabatch videos there. So that helped me not get burnt out. And the days that I am burnt out, I take a rest. Sometimes it's a half a day, sometimes it's all day, because driving a lot of miles, like I have more respect to like NASCAR drivers and truck drivers, because it's not easy sitting down on these bumpy roads, different conditions. It's very stressful on your body to drive. So be prepared for that. What I'm trying to say is freedom has and requires structure. You want to have a plan, have a strategy. Don't just go out there just to hustle. Be mindful of the stores. Like, what stores in your area do you see a lot of movement? You know? Like, I thought all Costco's were super busy, but no, not really. Just some. And they're really busy. So, store selection. Take a look at the map on Instacart and see which ones are highlighted frequently in red and orange. You know, maybe you're going to want to position yourself there. Multi-apping is also a good benefit, especially when you're starting out. If it's just going to be Instacart, I would pace myself, because you're not going to be making big money until you really, really got it down. It's because you got to study your market. You got to know what stores are always popping. And then you got to consider that you're in competition with other shoppers. So you're going to have good stats as well. And that doesn't really happen until you get it down, you know? Like, I'm going to consider myself a top shopper. And I know there's more, even better ones, but top shoppers, we don't chase everything. We're really selective. Like, me personally, I hate apartments. I won't do them. Why? Because I noticed it takes a lot of time. A lot of them out here in Palmdale have gates and people don't provide their codes. And then you try to reach out to the customer, they won't answer. Then a lot of apartments are very difficult to find. They have alphabets that are out of sync. A, B, D, Z, Q. And then they're upstairs. And a lot of times, like I said, people order waters, the 40 packs. And climbing stairs, no elevators, is tough. And sometimes you have to park outside of the complex and make multiple trips to your car to go deliver. I said, phooey, I'm done with that. So be selective with the batches you want to do. That's how you avoid burnouts as well. You know, if somebody orders 10 of those cases of waters and they're only paying you like $15, I wouldn't do it. I'll be very selective of which batches I want to get done. And then expect to be frustrated a little bit. I'm gonna call this emotional control, because you pick up a batch and then the customer cancels on you. Like, you're not gonna get the full pay most of the time, or if any, if you didn't start it. Also, when the items are out of stock, you get mad because it's like, this is gonna affect my score. Try not to. Just try to do your best. I know when I first started, especially, if you're starting out, contacting customer support is not that difficult. But it was for me, because I was new and I didn't have no help. There were no YouTube videos that tell you how to contact customer support. So just look towards the top right corner, the little headset, click on that and just click on help. And then it's gonna go through a series of questions like, is it for this batch? You say like yes, and then everything else, just press something else on whatever the question is. Just hit something else, because it'll save you some time. Trust me. And then they're going to connect you with a representative, and that's ultimately what you want. Once the representative is there, they'll walk you through whatever problem you have. But be prepared to be frustrated over that. My suggestion is to stay calm, staying professional, and profitable. I hope I didn't scare you off, because the next thing is Instacart even worth it? You know, let me know what you think, especially if you're new, if you've been doing this a long time. What's been your feedback for Instacart? Because to me, like I said, it's my bread and butter. I rely on Instacart, so I'm really trying to do my best to be good at it. And if you just want to make a little bit of money, it's a good side hustle. You know, there's some good batches that pay you like $40, $50, $60. You know, and if that's the one batch that you do for the week, cool. You got yourself $60 in like an hour or two. For me, it's more of the bigger plan. I kind of just wanted to make money through my phone, and I use other apps, so I don't just keep Instacart, even though I do put in 30 plus hours. When I put 40 hours, it was a really good week, and I got pretty good money for that week. So I do recommend it. It did take me a while to get to the status that I'm at right now, so I don't expect everyone to have the same experience as I did. But the money's there. You just gotta play the game and learn it. So it's not like a magical app where you're gonna get rich. And I would not say it's easy money. No, it really isn't. You just gotta treat it, for me, like a game, and I have to get the results that I want at the end of the day. You know, that's how I make it fun for myself. But it wasn't like that at the beginning. It was more frustrating than anything. If you treat it like a business, you could build something real here. You know, I know my neighbor, she just submits Instacart orders online. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even go shop no more. But that's how she started. She started as a shopper, build up her clientele, and then, you know, if you sold the idea, then you could make money off of it. But for me, I like the journey. I love getting out of my house, driving to a destination to shop, and then who knows where I'm gonna end up going. They send me far sometimes, like 70 miles away, and I find beauty in that because I discovered this little town called Boron, California. It's like donkey country. You know, they have like a little donkey museum there. Little shops. You could tell this was a little city, maybe like in the 50s, because they have like old school stuff there. No, probably even older. But I like traveling to places like that. Now I gotta be mindful that something bad might happen very far away from home, so I try to be prepared, and that's where treating this like a business comes in hand, because anywhere I go, I have to have AAA by my side just in case. A dead battery or a flat tire, and then I have full coverage on my insurance, because again, I'm going through like dirt roads here. There's some cars that are like trapped in mud. How did that happen? Who knows? But that's life, you know what I mean? So you just gotta be ready and insured. And I try to select safe days to work as well. There's a lot of things here that sometimes we don't give it enough attention until it's too late. So try to be prepared. You're working. If you had a manager, would your manager set you up for success? What does that look like? Well, now it's your turn. You're the manager of your own little side hustle. So have a game plan. Be ready. Have the energy to endure a full day of delivering, because if you're just doing it a couple hours here and there, maybe you won't reach the goal that you want. So what I do schedule myself Monday through Thursday full time. That's all I'm focused on, Instacart. Sometimes I'll pick up a Grubhub or a roadie delivery if I know I can knock it out in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You know, but other than that, I kind of already have my routine, and I know I'm going to put in 100 miles plus on my one day. So these are the pros and cons that I have experienced. And overall, there's more pros. Overall, I feel like I've been successful at this job. It's water. I'm telling you, I go through. My car takes a beating. I feel like I've made more money through Instacart than I have being a manager, being in sales, customer service. I like being paid for my work, because I feel like the 9 to 5, sometimes I tend to work harder than others, and sometimes it's not fair. So I kind of like that about this job. I like the strategy portion of it as well, because it keeps you sharp. You know what I mean? Now the efficiency part, like, there are days I'm just lazy and I gotta just be better at that. So the cons, it's work, it's hard physical labor after a while. Like, it's very stressful to sit in your car, so I would consider that a con. But for the most part, the waiting game is a big con. Because I get impatient. Overall, it's been a blessing. So let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these pros and cons make sense, if you go through the same thing. And yeah, let me know what your pros and cons are. Also, if you're watching this to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, to help this channel grow. I really want to just share my thoughts on the gig economy. We'll try different apps, and you're gonna see that I was able to help a couple of my friends that did not have jobs now doing this as full-timers. So you can too. Alright? Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is Daniel for Instabatch.